Hi, everybody. It is me, Leo Brown, and I just wanted to come on and kind of give you guys an update. As you can see, I now have better lighting, so now you can actually see me. Yes, I finally got a ring light. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm gonna show it to you. See, look, I'm so happy I have this thing. This thing, because I gotten so many comments from so many people. They were like, "Your lighting is horrible." Therefore your videos are horrible. And they were right. So I thank all of you for giving me that constructive criticism. But anywho, I wanted to come on and just give you an update. I know it's been about a month since I've done a video, but I wanted to just update you on my journey, I guess. So it is now a year. It's been a year, a full year since I made my transition. My transition moved to Houston, and Houston has been wonderful. I love it. I really do. But it has been it's been exactly that. It's been transitional. I am moving again. I'm not going to say where because that's my business, but I am moving again next year. But it's been a wonderful ride, and I hope to continue the journey more. But what I also wanted to come on and say was, as you can see, if you're new to my channel, first of all, let me say that first before I go deep into my spiel. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, for liking, all of that kind of stuff, because I know that I'm not, number one, I'm not consistent. Let's start there. I'm not consistent enough like I should be and want to be. Number two, but now that I have correct lighting, I'm definitely going to be more consistent. Number two, I know that my channel is not for everyone. Not everyone is going to judge or vibe with my channel and the things I may have to say or the things I may discuss. Number three, if you're like a regular watcher of my channel, then you realize that if you look around, I've gotten rid of some stuff. I got rid of some videos that personally I felt were not me. They just weren't me. They weren't who I am now and who I'm becoming. And I realized, though I had nothing against like entertainment channels, like let's see, Live with Leah. I love her, as you guys know. If you watch her, I like her a lot, and she mentions me. Shout out to her. If you watch Scotty, Mr. Still Standing, Much Love from KY. If you watch any of those channels, those are what I consider entertainment channels because they talk about music, they talk about movies, they talk about television. I am not that. I tried that. I tried to review TV. I tried to review movies. That's not really me. That's not my gig. My gig is more spirituality, inspiration, empowerment, motivation, self-help. So from now on, you're going to see a lot more of that. You're going to see me talk about spiritual things like, working with tarot cards and not just me doing a card a day, but like what it's really like to work with tarot cards or how to develop your clairvoyance, how to develop your empathy, how to cut your empathy off, things like that. How you may have, say you deal with depression or you deal with anxiety. How do you combat that or how do you combine that with spirituality? Those are the things that I want to talk about because, there's so many channels that talk about the same old thing. You've got everybody from like, oh God, daytime tea to, in the list goes, daytime tea to Tasha K to Justin J. You've got so many people that talk about the same old thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not shading them because I don't want people to think that I'm shading those channels. No, I think that if that's what your niche is and if that's what you do it and do it well. I really do believe that, and do it to the best of your ability. But I just realized that for me, that's not me. That's not my brand. That's not what my focus is. My focus is more empowerment, inspiration, motivation, maybe a little education. I don't mind throwing in maybe some entertainment things, like I'll do a reading for a celebrity, somebody that's well known or even not so well known, and get feedback from that. So those are the things I actually want to start doing. Because I have to tell you, being here in Houston, being here on my own, living on my own for this past year has really made me grow. It's really made me transition and change. I'm not the same person I was when I lived in St. Louis. And I don't want to go back to that. And it's really made me refocus. It's really made me go, you know what, if you're going to do this, you have to take it seriously. You have to look at yourself as a business. You can't look at it as, not saying that I didn't before, but I think for a long time, I didn't view my social media as a platform. I viewed it as, well, it's my social media. I can post what I want. And while that is true to a point, I've also realized it's like, but okay, you got to understand people are watching your social media. You don't know who's watching it or whatever. And hold on for just a second. Let me see who's messaging me. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I don't even do this. Okay. Anyway, so sorry about that. But because I can't, and I wish Facebook would actually change that because I hate the ding. It actually unnerves me a bit. But anyway, but that is true to a point that yes, it is your social media, it's your Facebook, it's your Twitter, it's your Instagram, but you have to be mindful of what you do and what you say and what you post. And and trust me, I've tried to post risque pictures. Those of you who have followed me know this is true. I've tried to post like risque stuff and and post things that are not in my, like, not saying this not in my character because we're all sensual and sexual beings. That's a whole other video, but we all are. But I've tried to do that, and really, in all honesty, I did that really because I wanted attention. I wanted attention. I wanted to get people looking at me and that kind of thing. And I've come to the realization, it's like, but that's not me. I'm not, unless I'm in that arena, which I am not. I am not a sex worker. I'm not any of those things. So I am sexy, but I'm not. That's not what I do for a living. That's not how I make my money. That's not the thing that I choose or the calling that I choose to have on my life. Why am I posting things like that? That's private. So I'm realizing that certain things you cannot and should not post. So I went through and did kind of a spring cleaning on my social media and things of that nature. And speaking of that, if you want to follow me on social media, by all means do so. I'm on Instagram as The Real Leo Brown, Facebook, The Real Psychic Leo Brown, Twitter, The Real Leo Brown as well, and of course YouTube. So you can follow me, and interact with me because I actually would like that. I like interaction. I like conversation. And I realized in that too, like, since moving here, I'm realizing what I like and what I don't like in my life, and that I want a life of peace. I don't want a lot of drama and gossip because lately I've seen even on YouTube, I've seen, people beefing with people. And it's like, okay, first of all, YouTube is owned by Google. We're all adults. We're all, I like to think, mature enough to not do that, to not be so juvenile and be so childish. But unfortunately, that's not always true. So my channel now, from here on out, will be a channel. It won't be boring, don't get me wrong, but it definitely will be a channel that is more geared towards spiritual topics and inspirational topics and, empowerment, but also real. I mean, I'm definitely going to be me, but, I'm at a point where I realize I'm changing. The way I view my business is changing. The way I view life has changed. So I want that to reflect in what I do. And I take what I do very seriously. So I want to share, I look forward to sharing more deeper topics, more things that I think will get a conversation going, a discussion going, not just a basic, oh, well, I'm going to read for a celebrity and that's it. Those are all good. And that's not what I'm saying, because I'm definitely going to do that. But, what about how you deal with depression, how you cope with it? Okay, you're in therapy. You're on medication. Now what? How do you deal with it when you don't have a therapist to talk to? When you don't have, your medication at hand, what do you do? How do you maintain a spiritual base when you are in a depressive state? How do you deal with anxiety? There are different types of anxiety. Which one do you have? Things like that. Like I did a video about generational curses. You know, I want to talk about things that matter, that impact not only my community, but the world. So that's all I really wanted to say. I mean, nothing much, nothing too big, but I really wanted to come on and talk about that because, I realized like my world has shifted, and I think it's just time to talk about things that, excuse me, I don't know why every time I get on this camera, I do that. But anyway, that matter. And I'm not saying that those things don't matter. Those things are entertainment, they're fun. But I've come to the realization I'm not an entertainer. I'm entertaining. Like if you find me entertaining, that's great. I think that's wonderful. But that's not my goal. My goal is not to entertain you. My goal is to maybe inform you on some stuff, maybe to get you to think. I want you to laugh. I want you to have a good time. But I'm not an entertainment personality, and I used to market myself as that. So part of it is I blame myself on that. It's like, but now I realize, like, no, I'm not an entertainer. I'm here to empower. I'm here to enlighten and to show people that mediums, psychics, whatever you want to call it, intuitives, that we're human beings. We're not all love and light and every day is a great day. And, we have our bad days too. But what do you do when you have a bad day? What do you do when you're like, okay, how do you handle it? How do you handle rejection? How do you handle not liking yourself or say you're struggling with body image? How do you deal with things like that? What do you do when, as a reader, like in my case, what do you do as a reader when, say, you have a client and no matter what you do, they're never satisfied? Things like that. Those are things I'm going to talk about, along with other things such as crystals and, planets and, the importance of smudging and, the importance of using Florida water for certain things, which I just started getting into, things like that. And showing you that I'm learning too, that I'm not up here and you're down here. We're all in this together. So that's going to be, from here on out, that's going to be the goal of my channel. So if you want to stick around and you want to continue to watch, I thank you so much for watching me, listening to me ramble, for subscribing, and for liking my stuff. If you don't, it's fine. It's no big deal. No harm done. I understand that, because there are plenty of channels that I think can give you what you may need. And every channel is different. Every channel provides a need that we all could use. So with that being said, I just wanted to come on and say that. I hope you guys are having an awesome, awesome spring thus far. We're already in the month of May. Or we're about to be in the month of May in less than a week, I think. Can't believe it. This year's going by so fast. But it's transitional, and not only for the internal, but the external. That's what spring is about. Spring is all about external transition. So so I hope you guys are having a great spring. And for those of you who are dealing with allergies like myself, hope you guys are surviving and thriving in that, because I know it's not easy. But until next time, it is me, Leo Brown. I'm not fabulous. I feel like if I have to, and I'm dropping that, I feel like if I have to voice that I'm fabulous, then that means I'm actually not. Because people who know who they are don't have to voice it. So with that being said, it's me, Leo Brown, and I will talk with you very, very soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening and a great, great rest of the week. See you soon. Bye-bye.